today we are continuing in the same section of 5.4. We're still dividing polynomials. Yep, again. However, today we're going to do it by a different method. Today we're going to do it by synthetic. We're going to do synthetic division. Now, what does synthetic mean to you, TJ? You think of oil. Okay, so what is synthetic oil? What is it?
Like that's like not like.
It's not oil, right?
No, it's like made out of other things.
Correct. So it's like right. So it's like fake oil.
Yeah, fake oil. There you go.
Okay.
I was trying to think. There's words I was thinking of, but I can't think of to explain it. I have a fundamental explanation, but I can't think of the big words.
Okay. No, you did great. So it's fake oil. So when I say we're going to do synthetic division, it's fake division. It's not any division at all. Substitute. I like it. All right. So here's what we're going to do today. When we do synthetic division, so it is a shortcut to dividing. All right? You start by drawing a long one-sided tic-tac-toe. It's just one-sided, so we're missing one line in it. Kind of stretches out to the side. It works when you have a binomial. You have a 0. But if you have like a trinomial, you can't do it. You know, if you're dividing by a trinomial, you can't. Okay. So, long division. Yep. So in this one, across the top in this section is going to be the coefficients of the polynomial. All right, we're going to list the coefficients across the top. Out here on the side is the 0 of the divisor. All right, what we usually call our A value, or right? It's what we, like for this one, we had x plus 4, so that means on the outside we'd have a negative 4. It's the 0 of the binomial, okay? All right, now the way this is going to work is the first number you have written here, you're going to bring straight down. All right, so step 1, bring down first coefficient. There we go. All right, then what we do is we multiply our 0 times that coefficient, and it goes here. So step 2, we multiply the 0 by the coefficient, or the first coefficient, and we put it here. So if this is our first coefficient, we'll call it that, when we multiply these two, it goes underneath the second coefficient. So A times first coefficient goes here. Step 3, we add that column. Step 4, we repeat. Step 5, we are going to write our polynomial, or write our answer, with one less x value. One less exponent, let's say. One less exponent. Okay? So let me show you what I mean. All right? Let's say I have the polynomial. How about x to the third plus 3x squared minus x plus 2, and I want to divide by x minus 1. This is the one Chris just asked about a little while ago, okay? So first thing we do is we draw our long one-sided tic-tac-toe, is what I call it. Across the top are going to be the coefficients of each of those terms. So we have 1x to the third, we have 3x squared, we have negative 1x, and then we have 2. the 0 to this binomial is 1, right? If you set it equal to 0, you get 1. So that goes out here. All right, now, we bring the first one down. Then we multiply. 1 times 1 is 1. We add them together. 3 plus 1 is 4. Now we repeat that. We multiply. 1 times 4 is 4. We're going to get there, okay? All right, so as I was saying, we add together negative 1 plus 4. We get 3. Then we multiply 1 times 3. We get 3 and add it together. We get 5. This last spot is our remainder. Right? So then when we write our polynomial down, this first one is 1x, and it's 1 less, so x squared. Plus, here, 4x plus 3. And again, remainder 5. So what we did in that long division problem, we just put whoop in that much. Okay, so here we go with example number 1. Okay, I got it, thanks. Right here, Gabe. So these are the coefficients of our new polynomial. We go 1 less than the exponent right there. So it was x to the third, so now it's going to be x squared. So 1x squared plus 4x plus 3. That last column's your remainder. All right, here we go with example number 1. Example number 1. So this is what you were doing for numbers 21 through 31. It's going to ask use, divide, using synthetic division. And let's go with x to the third minus 4x squared plus 6x minus 4. And we're going to divide that by x minus 2. All right. So, long one-sided tic-tac-toe. Across the top are our coefficients. So we have 1, negative 4, 6, and negative 4. On the outside is our 0, which is positive 2. Very good. So now we bring our first number down. We get 1. Now we multiply. 2 times 1 is 2. Add them together, we get negative 2. Multiply. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Add them together, we get positive 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Add those together, we get 0, which means this time we have no remainder, right? 2 times 1 is 2. We add together. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. We add together. 2 times 2 is 4. We add together. Same thing every time. All right. So now we write our polynomial, our answer. It started as x to the third, which means this is now x squared. Excuse me. So I have 1x squared minus 2x plus 2 and no remainder. All right. How we doing? Okay. Example number 2. What, Irene? Okay. All right, example number 2. This time, let's divide x to the third minus 8 by x minus 2. So when we had a problem yesterday, we did in the notes, that did not have a term, what did we put there? We put a 0x, right? We had to put a placeholder. We have to do the same thing here. So when we do our coefficients across the top, we have 1x to the third, we have 0x squared, we have 0 x's, and then we have minus 8.
That's so hard.
Our 0 for this factor is 2. All right, here we go. We're going to go ahead and divide these. Bring down the 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Add them together. We get 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Add them together. We get 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Negative 8 plus 8 is 0. No remainder. Our polynomial is 1x squared plus 2x plus 4.
Yeah, but when you have this, you have to continue like x plus 2 squared or no?
Oh, we're going to get there. We're not that far yet. Okay, yes, we're not that far yet, you guys. Okay? These guys don't know what you're talking about. Just give me some time, all right? We're not quite that far, but we're getting there, okay? No, it's in 5-6. We're getting there. All right, so can I continue with the notes? Thank you. All right, so when you are doing synthetic division, make sure that you write down what your polynomial is and what your remainder is, okay? Next thing I want to talk about is the remainder theorem. The remainder theorem, we use P of x. And in that P of x, if we plug in the 0 of the divisor, you get the remainder. All right, so for example, this is where I want to start. Example number 3. This is what I want you to go back and do for number 19. Okay? So look back at this one to do number 19 this time. I know you did it yesterday already once. I want you to do it again this way. All right? So, I need to know, determine if it is a factor. So if I have the polynomial x to the third plus 4x squared plus x minus 6, and I'm dividing by, let's do x minus 3. What I want you to do using the remainder theorem is to take the 0 of what we're dividing by, so that would be x equals 3, and you plug that in. So we're going to go back and plug 3 into our polynomial. So you're going to have 3 to the third plus 4 times 3 squared plus 3 minus 6. What'd you get? We got 60? Okay. So since we got a remainder, what does that mean about the factor? It's not a factor. Exactly. All right. So instead of having to do that whole long division to determine if it's a factor, you can just do this. All right. Last example. Example number 4. This is going to cover problems 33 through 39. The directions say to use synthetic division and the remainder theorem to find the remainder. And it's going to be listed like this for the problems. It's going to say P of X equals, and maybe they tell you that P of X is 2x to the third plus 4x squared minus 10x minus 9, and they're going to tell you that A equals 3. So they're already going to tell you what your 0 is. So you can either use synthetic division, or you can do it by the remainder theorem where you just plug it in. If we start by just plugging in 3, 2 times 3 to the third plus 4 times 3 squared minus 10 times 3 minus 9. What do we get? Oh, try it again. 51 is correct. I agree. So you can do it that way, or you can do it by synthetic. I'd like to do it by synthetic as well. So in synthetic, same exact problem. I would put my coefficients across the top. So 2, 4, negative 10, negative 9, and this 0, the 3, goes on the outside. I would bring down my 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Add them together, I get 10. 3 times 10 is 30. Add them together, I get 20. 3 times 20 is 60. Add them together, I get 51. The same remainder. So the book says you have to do it both ways. I'm telling you that you can choose which way you prefer to do it. So it's up to you whether you want to just plug in the 0 and get out the remainder, or whether you want to do it by synthetic. But it's your choice, okay?
So when we simple that to the 51, we put P of S equals 2 times 3 to the third, or we can
You can just say it equals 51 because you've plugged it in probably in your calculator or wherever, right? Okay. So here's the deal, you guys. We have just under 10 minutes left. You have time to get started on this homework. I want you to understand that this needs to be a focus time, all right? I'm trying not to get frustrated with some of the extra conversation, all right?